Ouch. I'll give you a nice ear infection.
Give it a whirl. I think they work better than my covers.
I was thinking of getting my my PlayStation headset, plugging that in. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's loads better. It's not like just like all the muffled background crap happening as well.
Sounds clearer, much more clearer.
You're like you should be in a call center. Welcome to
How can I help?
GBA.
Hello, GPA. How can I help?
You're speaking to Matt. How can I help you?
I had some guy. He called me the other day. I'm trying to think what he said now. I keep getting these calls from Spain. They come to on a Madrid number, so occasionally I answer it, thinking maybe someone is trying to call me about something that I didn't finish off there or whatever, and it rings through. But then it always goes like all muffled. So, okay. So what? They're not calling me or what? And if you wait for like 2 or 3 seconds, then it's like, hello. Yeah, you called me, motherfucker. Yeah, hello. Oh, Mr. West. Yes, Mr. West. Oh, blah, 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 fucking Telefonica so-and-so. So yeah, but I don't want anything from Telefonica because I live in Austria now. Yeah, I'm just going to tell you about all this thing. Yeah, but I don't live in Spain anymore. Yeah, well, I'm just going to fill you in on this new offer we have. Yeah.
In Spanish? Are they doing that in Spanish?
Yeah, in Spanish, yeah. Fucking unbelievable.
Start talking German to them and see if they wouldn't listen.
They don't listen anyway. Like because I said to him in Spanish, I don't want what you're selling because I live in Austria. So he's literally no use to me. And he went, what? Well, you want me to repeat that? It's not very fucking complicated, is it? It's like, vivo in Austria. I live in Austria. Yeah, you can't confuse that for I live in Spain. Please sell me your wares. You can't confuse it. So he's like,
maybe that's like the 5th time he's heard it that day.
Because he's thinking doing something wrong.
A lot of Austrian dudes.
These Austrians living in Spain. Yeah, but I hardly ever answer it. And then that time I thought, oh, maybe it's I don't know
something important.
It's like tax return time and all this nonsense time. So I'll answer it. Yeah, mistake. I was right the previous 900 times. All right. Nothing more exciting than that really happened to me this week.
You look like you've been in the sun. Have you been like snowburned or something? Compared to me, anyway. I look like
you look like a ghost. You're like Casper the Friendly GBA athlete. No, because I can't really move around that much. So I just like walk for like 20 minutes in the morning, but it hasn't been that sunny, and then come back for 20 minutes in the evening. And other than that, I don't really go out that much because I was hip still healing up, but I can actually move under my own steam without the crutch.
That's cool.
Pair. No, so
that's good progress.
Yes. So it's like 3 weeks. I think so. 12.
You'll be healed up just in time to smash yourself again.
Yeah. Just as the bike park's open. Bike park's open 5th of May.
Yeah.
For the mountain bike. So yeah, I'll just be ready to roll in time for that. I need to make sure it's healed up properly though, because what I don't want to do is like jump on it, not even crash, and then break my pelvis. That would be shit. Would be a shocker. So I will try not to do that.
Is it Easter there? Do they have Easter over there?
Doesn't look like they do. I didn't see any like huge collection of eggs. They always have like Oreo eggs at the checkout in the supermarket. Yeah. So maybe it's like just Easter all year round. Yeah, all the time.
They probably have that like those like sugared almond type shit, don't they? It's that kind of
the grandma's
that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I haven't ever been anywhere. Maybe in the States they do it. I've never been anywhere else where they have such a fascination with chocolate at Easter. Like in Spain, they do cakes, like these sort of pastry type cakes, and this thing called like la mona, which is like a little. It's kind of like a little pastry or a little cake, something like that. But they don't really go in for like the big chocolate eggs. They have like different, not savory. They're still sweet, but there's just no chocolate really. And then here, I haven't seen anything in the supermarket. It's not like, you know, when you go into Tesco or whatever, and it's just like aisles and aisles and aisles of Easter eggs.
They have it out from Boxing Day. They literally they bring out
Boxing Day.
Yeah, on Boxing Day you can get an Easter egg.
An Easter egg, really?
Serious? Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
I like the day after Easter though.
I always think as I'm like, oh, I really fancy like a Cadbury's cream egg. Like the day after, I've just smashed a box of roses. Yeah.
Just changing one for another.
Oh, yeah. And then as soon as this is done, what's the next thing? I don't know. It'll be barbecues.
Well, there isn't anything for a while, is it? Yeah, we full on barbecues.
Yeah,
and then
barbecue season.
And by like just after Easter, when like going up to Easter, all the eggs are whatever they are, £2 or £3 or £4 or whatever. And then all of a sudden it's still just chocolate. But then the day after Easter, they're like 50p. And you can buy 1,000 eggs for 50p.
We purposefully didn't get the kids as much chocolate this year because last few years, like we want them to like enjoy it and whatever and have chocolate for breakfast, all that kind of stuff. You know, traditional Easter breakfast. Eggs.
The way God would want it.
And sort of Jesus died for. And so we thought, right, we'll get them some like gifts instead. So I got some books and like some dominoes and things just so they can play. So there's still like just on the side, there's still just like a raft of eggs. Because we went around to see Mum and she did like a little Easter egg hunt in the garden where they ended up with 40 each, not big ones, not like the ones in boxes, like little hollow
40
ones.
Easter eggs
Each. They're only like between like that and sort of that big, but they're like,
yeah, but come on,
it's a lot. And then
it's not a lot. That's insane. But they're the mini egg style.
It's just like little ones. And then so we got them some. So they had a little Easter egg hunt round here. And then like Claire's parents brought some round.
Another 40 eggs.
Some round. So they're just stacking them up. And we just thought, even though we like purposely didn't buy it, we thought we'd rather get them something like getting books and things that they'll use. Oh, that'd be a good idea. But they're still just smashing them in. And I said, oh yeah, I'll have an Easter egg. So now I've got like two Cadbury's cream eggs, like Easter eggs with the cream eggs in, and then like a little box of like 5 cream eggs. And I'm thinking, oh man, I'm gonna have to eat this all today.
Yeah,
because I can't carry it over if it's in the house. And then I'll be looking at their eggs, and I'll be like, even if I just have like an egg a day, I'll still be eating like chocolate for a week. So I'd rather my brain goes, you have to eat this all before midnight.
Yeah,
so you can just get it gone.
I've
had two cream eggs already today, and I feel mental. My teeth hurt.
It does ruin your teeth, doesn't it? Oh, man. I had it in my fridge when I started 75 Hard on the 2nd of January, and I had some chocolate in the fridge because I got a problem with chocolate. If I have chocolate, I can't eat one bit. I have to eat all of it. So if I always have chocolate in the house, I will always eat chocolate. So I basically just don't have it because I'm either like all in or I'm not doing it basically. So the same with the chocolate and the same with beer or something like that. Like I just can't have it. So I have to just not buy it, which I'm fine to do. I don't go to the supermarket and want it. But I had this chocolate in the fridge because to go along with 75 Hard. And I was speaking to Emily Tam about chocolate. And she said, I'll put it in the freezer and try it. And I thought, well, that's a bit easy because if I put it in the freezer, then I'm just going to not eat it. But what I need to do is basically just not want to eat it and try and resist destroying the whole thing for the duration of the 75 Hard. So I put them in the fridge and managed for the entire of that 75 Hard until I broke my pelvis and then couldn't do the last bit because I was in the hospital with the water. Didn't eat any chocolate. And over the time, I was making it harder and harder by buying more chocolate. So I started off with 1 bar of Milka, and then I got a bar of dark chocolate at 70% because I really like dark chocolate. And then when I went in the hospital, my friend bought me some chocolate to come around. And then I saw some Reese's peanut butter cups, and I bought them and put them in the fridge. And then,
why did you keep buying them?
Because I was trying to make it harder. I was thinking, well, at some point I'm going to want to eat this chocolate, but I didn't. I was like, man, I'm cured. So I got out of the end of 75 Hard. And then I could eat the chocolate. I fucking ate that whole lot.
Smash.
I wasn't cured at all.
Oh man, that's gross.
I just ate that whole lot, man, and just destroyed it. I was like, wow, that proves it.
Yeah, I can't have chocolate in the house.
I can't have it.
I like how you made the thing harder that you failed like 3-4 times on the bounce. I haven't actually completed this yet. I was going to make it harder for myself by buying more chocolate. But I eat the 90% dark chocolate.
Oh mate, that's horrible.
but I have it with. This is
Oh,
my
the
thing.
coffee,
This
is
is
it?
my like treat. Is I have like the mixed nuts and raisins, like they're not salted, it's just not natural mixed nuts and raisins, and then I get a half a bar of the Lindt 90%, and I just snap it into little bits, and I sprinkle that in to like half a bag of this nuts, and that's my thing. But it's like
It does taste.
7 or 8 grams of sugar in the chocolate. So the fruit and the nuts has got more sugar in it than the chocolate. It's like,
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like chocolate though. So
yeah,
it's too much. That 90%.
Yeah, have you ever tried the 100%?
Maybe,
it's like chewing bricks. It's
because
bad.
I thought, oh yeah, you know what they say, like cocoa is the cocoa percentage. Like the higher the cocoa percentage goes, the more cocoa flavonoids, whatever it's got in it. What is the thing that's got in it? I don't know what it is. So I was like, oh, okay, and I really like the 70% because I like the strong chocolate. And I thought, well, a bit stronger will be all right. And I think I'd had some 85%. And then the higher up the chocolate goes, it's a bit like coffee. Like the higher up the chocolate or the cocoa percentage goes, like the more of a connoisseur you think you are, isn't it? And the packaging gets a bit more wild. And on the 90% one, and I think it's the Lindt one, there's instructions about how to eat it, because it's so disgusting that if you eat it like normal chocolate, it basically makes you want to puke.
You have to eat it like an asshole.
Yeah, you have to eat it. You have
to like, heat it on a spoon.
Yeah, it basically says don't eat this. Like it's something like don't eat it like a normal person or something. Like you have to put it in a coffee or like put it in your, like people do wine tasting, you have to do it like that. Like
spit it out.
Chocolate tasting. Yeah, you have to like put it in your mouth and let it rest for a bit. It's like, what is this, man? I just want to eat some chocolate. But it doesn't, it tastes like literally,
it's not chocolate.
Like that time when I ate cocoa butter because I thought it would taste like chocolate when I was little. Yeah, that was not good.
It's like eating soil. It's bad.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's really bad. I remember I bought some and I thought I'd try and stick with it, and it just ended up in the cupboard forever. I think Claire might have given it to her dad or something to do something with.
Take that. But the 90% though, I didn't. Maybe it was 100% that I tried, because I'm pretty
there's
sure the 90% wasn't good. No, it's not, is it? Well, it's just if it's 100% cocoa, it's like
someone when you smashed up the cocoa beans.
Well, yeah, it's like when you get the cocoa powder that you think is going to make a nice hot chocolate, but actually it just makes this like dirty brown burnt liquid, except it's in a block format. So yeah, I'll probably pass on that. But I didn't like the Milka either. I was like, oh yeah, destroyed the dark chocolate, and then my friend got me dark chocolate with orange in it, which was a Lindt one as well. You know, Lindt do like the crazy balls, and then they do the normal block, the
bars,
slabs or whatever. And he got me a dark chocolate one of those, which was cool. But I had a Milka in there as well, and I was like, because the Milka they're like Milka here for some reason. I had the Milka in there, but I didn't like that one, so I didn't even want to eat it. So actually, the one that I can't have in the house is the dark chocolate one, because the Milka I just don't like.
Did you eat the Milka anyway?
Yeah, at the same time, I came the whole lot, everything, all of it, and the buttercups and everything, just came the whole lot, man. Just destroyed it.
You don't give up.
Yeah, just have it. And the
when you set your mind to something, you just go ahead and do it.
Just deal with it. Just get it done. Don't mess around. Then the dairy milk as well. They don't have that here, I don't think, luckily, because I'm a sucker for a kilo of dairy milk too.
Well, they started doing 50% less sugar, like dairy milk and stuff like that in the supermarkets, and them can't have taken off very well because I never see them anywhere now.
No, man,
but you can get some good low sugar chocolate stuff from like an Aldi or a Lidl or places like that, where it's like 7-8 grams of sugar or something per 100, and it tastes.
I don't really look at the grams, but the cocoa, like the dark chocolate, that doesn't have a lot of sugar in, does it? I don't.
If you get sweet, like an 80 to 85% Lindt one, it's something like 17 grams of sugar. So it's not like crazy, but
I didn't realize you were into looking at the sugars.
That's the only thing I look at when I eat food.
Right.
That's it. Because when I dropped from like 90 kilos to like 77, I think I just went by sugar content. And I was like, if it's 3 grams of sugar or less per 100, then I'm just going to eat it.
You're all in.
Like 5 to 8 grams, I think, that might be like a bit of a occasional. Anything over like 10 grams, I'm like, no, I'm not eating it. And it just fell
Interesting strategy.
Yeah, that's all I look at, which is kind of the opposite to like, that's why I don't understand like Slimming World stuff and things like that.
Well, because Slimming World stuff is like a total calories thing, I think.
Yeah, it's just, it's weird, like, so we've been doing Slimming World things and like having Slimming World meals, and it's like they like half a teaspoon of oil or something. It's like, can't have that half a teaspoon of oil. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, because it's calorie based, isn't it? Because the half
Yeah.
a teaspoon of oil is, what are they, 9 calories
Yeah.
per gram for fat or whatever.
And I just don't look at calories. But then I was talking to somebody about this the other day. They're talking about how, like, I don't spend any real thought on food because I just automate it. So I've got my porridge and my peanut butter for breakfast, and then have my beef and my rice for lunch, and then the evening meal is just whatever the evening meal is, whatever's like, we get Hello Fresh or something, and it's all normally, you know, something half decent. But then I spend my time is I spend an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours some days training. Whereas Claire, on the other hand, she doesn't do the training, but she will spend all the time prepping and planning the meals because she has to work out all this living well stuff, and it's to get like a similar result. Like the result is you're going to lose weight or get fitter or feel better, but actually where you spend your time doing it, I just thought, oh yeah,
it's interesting.
I just can't.
As well, it depends what you like doing as well, doesn't it? If you found basically a shortcut way to deal with that, and you don't necessarily get any pleasure out of the food side, probably you do, but you like to train, and that you can see the outcome of the training. But for Claire, she likes the food side because
she hates planning it and prepping it though, but that's what it takes. That's
exactly, that's the thing. So that's what it takes,
effort to get there,
to eat the good food but still stay within the range that she's looking at, I suppose, isn't it? That's the thing. But I don't spend any time on food.
It's
I
funny
like to eat food, but
I saw a post the other day on Instagram. Someone had put something on there, and it said, if you're not looking forward to the workout, you're doing it wrong. And I thought, man, doing this wrong. I've been doing this wrong.
For years.
I'm in the game for the wrong reasons. I thought, I get it, because if you're training because you enjoy it, and you're training for just because you like training, or you want to, like, it's not that big a deal, you just enjoy having a good time and exercise. And I thought, I get why that would make sense. But then I looked at that and I thought, man, at the time when I'm doing, there's no point where I'm like smiling and having a good time when I'm going like flat out in the bottom of a squat, or I'm like halfway through a set of 8 assistance deadlifts, and I was like, and I'll think of that, I must be doing this wrong. I must be doing it wrong.
Because the satisfaction doesn't come from the enjoyment of the training at the time, does it? The enjoyment or the endorphin comes after you've done the training, and then the result of that, and it's like a delayed gratification thing, isn't it? It's like if you suffer now, you're going to reap the benefit later on.
I know some psychopaths who actually enjoy feeling like, when they're in that pain cave, when they're in that dark place, they actually like it. And I'm just like, no, I can't be.
But do they actually like it though? Do they like that actual thing? Because I think it's not
it
one
can't
of those
be
things
pleasure,
that it's not that they like that, is it? I think
they like overcoming it, maybe, or they like
overcoming it, or they like the fact that they can do it and somebody else won't do it. Well, some people like pain.
But I've given it in my head. I say this like to anyone who will listen, which is no one. When I'm doing the workouts, I like give up in my head 20 times. I was on the driveway doing that CrossFit Great Yarmouth workout, the intervals one, 5 rounds, where it was like 30 calorie row, 20 hang clean and jerk with a dumbbell, and then 20 burpees over the rower. And I was just like, I was in round 2, and I was like, I was going to stop. I'll just stop it. No one cares.
I'm done.
I'm not going to post this. I'm going to post an old
something
video.
else.
I was going to post a skanky old squat video that I did ages ago. Throwback. And then I just thought, oh man, no, just do another round. I was like, oh man, this is bad. I've got to stop now. I'm like, I can't do the next one. And I was like, then get through the next one. But that happens all the time. I was in my head, I'm like, why am I doing this? And I always think I never want to do a competition. And I'm like there in it. I'm like, I never want to do a competition, because I'd actually have to be trying even harder than this. And I was thinking, why would I want to do that? That's mad.
Well, it all depends on your perception of the stuff, isn't it? Because as well, for me, the pain I would cause myself from giving up is far worse than the pain of continuing through the workout. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I gave up, I'm just like, well, I'd have to come out and do it again. I'd go back. I'd go in the house and I'd go, absolutely,
pussy, and then I'd come and I'd have to start from round 1 again.
Exactly.
And I'd just be like, nah. That. But I know, I know people who, like, through lockdown and stuff, they've like gone into do workouts, and they've seen these WODs and stuff, and they're like, no, I stopped in like round 2. I was like,
I'm not doing it.
Just carry on, just do it slower.
If you're going to start, it doesn't finish until you start, does it? And then once you've started, you might as well finish it. Like you sit there thinking about it, you've done the hardest bit. The hardest bit is like get your stuff on, go downstairs, because you can stay sat on the sofa forever if you never start. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, is it? But once I
say that the hardest bit is getting going. The hardest bit is actually getting from the sofa into the gym. But then I think, yeah, but have you ever done a double dumbbell box step over? They're bad. Try doing 20 of them.
But once you're doing it, it's like do one. Like you say, do one. Now what are you going to do after you've done one? Do another one. And then what you're going to do? Do another one. It's like there's nothing that's going to stop you, is there? Unless you break your legs or your hands fall off. What?
Yeah, it doesn't. The movement doesn't get that much harder that you then can't do it. It just feels gross.
Yeah, I guess there's a difference as well between if you just get it wrong, if you just overcook it, and you've got your dumbbells are too heavy or whatever, and you physically can't do it, then. But that's just a mistake, isn't it? That's like that's stupid. But to give.
But then even then, like say you pick up a pair of 22s or something and you start doing something, there's then the mindset which is very similar on the same sort of parallel as the quitting mindset, is in right, I'm going to put these down, I'm going to pick up a pair of 15s, and it's like right, I'm just going to grind through this 22 and get it done.
That's harder, isn't it? That's harder because if you get it wrong and you just can't, because there is a point where physically maybe you can't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like if I tried to bench, if I put 120 kilos on a bar and try and bench it, I can't actually do that. Can't do it. So to like try and do it again doesn't make any sense. You can try, can't you? Could try and be there and trying for the rest of your days, but you aren't going to do it, are you? So there's still an element of actually getting the loads right and getting the stimulus right and everything, isn't it? Otherwise, because if you're just going in there, just going at it, and it's so hard that you can't do anything, then you dig yourself your famous recovery hole, don't you, and stay down there basically.
Then you just pretend. Then you just say, "Yeah, finished it." Well, some people do anyway. Oof. A lot of that shit going on.
That's even worse, man. That's even worse to me than if I gave up. Then I said, "Yeah, I finished it. I didn't even do it."
Yeah, that's rife.
Mad.
That's why in CrossFit they like the open. I don't know if you follow Make WOD's Great Again, when he talks about the open, just like exposes all the rep skippers and the people, people that say they finished and they didn't actually finish. Yeah,
that is a tricky one. Not the rep skipper, I suppose, but like the full-on correct rep thing. I did that when I did that TEC last year, like just after I did my leg, and then that TEC came up, and I did the burpee one and then the handstand push-up one with the lunges and stuff like that. And like that, it's difficult, isn't it, when you're going flat out to make sure that you do every one with a full hip extension, and like that's, well, I suppose just practice, it's all part of the game, isn't it, to get those things right, which I wasn't that bothered about the game really. So that's the other difference. You need to actually care about it enough to be doing that properly. But skipping it on purpose and saying you did 50 when you did 25 or whatever, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's tough to live with. You've got to be a special kind of human to say that and then walk away and go,
oh yeah, that's all right. Yeah, okay. So because as well, if you're doing that to yourself there, then where else are you doing that to yourself? You know what I mean? It's like, come on, give yourself a break, man.
Well, I didn't enter the open this year because of my knee, and for the first couple of workouts, I was like, oh man, I should have entered it, because there were ones that I could do. I say I could do. I tried the wall walk one, and that was just a disaster. Like, it was an absolute car crash. And then I tried the burpee box jump and snatch one, which I've done before, which I say I like again. I like it after I finished it. About 40 minutes after I finished it, I like it. And then they had
when you can stand up again.
Yeah, the third one was, I don't know if you saw it, was a mixture of front squats, like pull-ups, toes to bar muscle ups, and thrusters, like for time. You had 15 minutes to do a crazy amount of them, and then straight into a a complex, which was for the max weight. It was deadlift into power clean or squat clean, into a hang clean, and then into a overhead press. And I just thought the amount of people that it just would have just wiped out because they haven't got the pull-up bar or the space or anything to be able to even do just the bar stuff. I would have taken a lot of people out, but I'm glad I didn't pay my money now, because I'd have been pissed. Even if it's only like $20 or something, but I've been, well, can't do that. Can't do that.
It's because you can't do it. Why can't you do it?
I haven't got the height in the garage to do the bar muscle ups, and I can't do the.
Yeah, okay. Can't do muscle ups.
I can do muscle ups. I can do bar muscle ups. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd be able to do 30 of them in like a minute or 2 minutes. Yeah, the bar work, the pull-up bar work was 30 reps, but then the front squats and the thrusters would have just blown my knees to bits. So it would have just exploded off.
I suppose, especially this year, the whole point of the Open would have been that they knew people weren't training at gyms, so you would think they would make it more appropriate for people to train.
Well, there was more. There was different levels you could enter, like foundations, and they had like a whole another category, which was something different, and no equipment and stuff. But yeah, if you don't get onto the next stage if you're doing any of that, like in terms of the games or whatever. If you want to progress to the next stage in the competition. But yeah, I've got an MRI. Should be hopefully in the middle of April. See what's going on my knee, because that's just not right. The pain's moved now. It was in the front, and now it's gone round to the side. So God knows what's going on there.
Just giving something grief away. Well, maybe you need another surgery or something.
Yeah, could be.
Just had a hammering, hasn't it? When did you get that done originally? 10 years ago, probably.
No, it was less, because I had both kids. So it was, I would go with, yeah, because I was worried about like just headbutting it and just smashing into me when I was. So you're looking at like 5 years, 6 years, 5. Like that. Wow. Yeah, I was in the old house.
No, I thought you were in the terrace house, not the Drifters Way house. Yeah.
No, in the terrace house. Yeah, so that's I'd probably say like 6 years, 5 or 6 years. But it's the other side. It's the inside now that hurts. It was the front. The surgery was on the left-hand side. The pain started on the front. What was the surgery for? A teared meniscus.
Teared meniscus.
Yeah, it's like they called it a debridement or something like that, or debridement. It's like some French thing. But yeah, they just cleaned up like a cut, like a tear, rip in there. And that's off and on. Mostly good since then. But yeah, this is just something else. As soon as I squat below parallel, it's just like, nope. Which is depressing. Very depressing.
No idea.
Yeah.
It depends on it, because if it's an inflammation thing, then if you leave it alone, it could get better. But if there's something in there that's like structurally not right, or something is rubbing on something else, or
something floating about,
exactly, it'll just keep aggravating.
Well, that's what I thought. They offered me physio. They said, "Oh, we can do this or that." I was like, "Well, I had physio on it. I've had something else on it," and they said, "Oh, that was an MRI," and just put me and just look inside.
At least you can see what's going on, because then don't you know what you're dealing with then. And maybe you have to do something different or adjust or whatever.
But I think it's been good to. I say it's been good. It's not been good to have it. It's been good timing that the lockdown was when it was, because if we didn't have the lockdown, I'd probably still be pushing it in the CrossFit box, doing stuff that I probably shouldn't be doing on it, because I wanted to just keep up with other people, or felt like I wasn't doing the workout properly. So I think it's been good for me to just be able to be in here and do stuff around it, and like, okay, I'm going to squat tomorrow on a box, so my knee's probably not going to be feeling too good on the day after, so I need to like make sure I don't do any too much leggy stuff around that, and mix it up a bit. But
good that you take the pressure off yourself, but in another way, you need to be able to recognize when that isn't right, and not worry about keeping up with people, because you try and keep up with people for 2 months and write yourself off for 2 years. Do you know what I mean? That's the difficult bit, isn't it?
I think
that's much easier said than done. Is the problem.
That's the thing. Like, if I come away, I think it's just how I feel coming away from doing like a class or a workout or something. If I've had to change a movement, I'll feel like, oh, I didn't actually do it. I didn't actually do that workout. Like just in my head, it's like, oh, I had to change out. Whereas at home, because I just make the workouts and the sessions up, it's like, well, this is what it is. It's like that somebody commented the other day about me cheating in the handstand.
Yeah, with the handstand push-up. Yeah.
I'm like, cheating what?
That's what it is.
This is my workout.
It's like when you do when you're benching, he's like, well, you're not squatting. Yeah, because I'm benching.
Different thing. So yeah.
No, I guess you need to find your motivation, don't you? Like if your motivation to get better is do what everybody else is doing, then it's good to have that little nudge, isn't it, to try and keep up. But when you're injured, you need to take a bit of a long-term view. And I'm the worst person to be saying anything to anybody about that, because I always want to keep up with everybody. It doesn't matter who it is. So I'm learning.
Yeah. But I should hopefully we sorted that program out for the dude the other day. He's starting that on Monday.
Oh, cool.
So we should get some feedback on that, see how that's all going.
That'll be good. Yeah, I'd like to know how long it takes him to do the sessions, because I didn't go wild with accessory stuff in there, but it does ramp. So because he's got straight 5-3-1, hasn't he? And then he's got some accessory single leg and more like a sort of higher rep but just movement work on the leg days, and then on the upper body days he's got this pull-up focus, hasn't he? Mm-hmm. And they ramp as well with volume from like 30 to 50 reps over the cycle.
I did a cool little,
interesting to see how long it takes.
I'm just playing around on some days when I do deadlift and I think, oh, I'm a bit better from the deadlift. I don't really want to move fast. And I don't really want to move fast on most days, but I've been doing just some quick pull-up stuff. And I was thinking about like pull-up progression. And I started off doing like 10 pull-ups, then 9, then 8, then 7 in one set, all the way down to 1. And I think, right, I'll add a 1 on the very bottom. So I'll do, instead of 3-2-1, I'll do 3-2-2. And then I'll do like 3-3-2. And then I'll just build it up and see if I can get to like 10 sets of 10, because that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. That's a nice progression. Yeah. I don't normally go, the ones that I've been running are more like go up the other way. Just start with, and start really low though when I'm coming back to it. So I start with 5s. So I say like 5 5s if I can do it.
Yeah. And
then build up from there. But they come up really quite fast, and you can end up within a few weeks being back at like 3 12s, and then I just do like 3 12s or 4 12s or whatever, and then add on the end of that. So get to 4 12s and then just add anything on the end of that. And as well, a nice one is to find your max that you can hit in one go.
Yeah.
And then just add a volume on top of that. So if you can do 10 for the session, you do 15, and then over time you increase that from, so that will be a 50% increase on your max total volume. You can do a 60%, 70%, and then you try and reduce the sets. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do that. But yeah, bottom set ones, another option.
I'm always surprised as well when I jump up there, and it always surprises me that I'm still not getting any better at pull-ups despite never training them. I'm like, man, why am I no good at pull-ups still?
We should
just eating Cadbury's cream eggs and sitting on the assault bike. Man, my pull-ups are not progressing.
Progress here. But if you're deadlifting still and doing, but you don't do lots of back accessory work, though, do you? Really? You don't do like rows and stuff like that much, do you? Because what do you do for your main movements? You do like bench and then bench assistance, and then you do a WOD, or do you do any actual like weights assistance?
It's normally, depends how I'm feeling, but it's normally a WOD based around the movement that I've been doing loosely. So that's when I'm always doing like handstand push-up stuff on like Mondays, because I've done overhead press on the Mondays, and then I just work them under fatigue.
So it is assistance, but it's not assistance like
no, it's not. Yeah, not
like a row,
typical,
for example, for back, or pull over for chest or whatever. It's a little bit of a different method. Yeah,
there's no science behind it, but it works for what I want to.
Yeah, it seems to work pretty well.
Because otherwise, I think, well, I might, if I'm going to do it, then I'll do the shoulder stuff on the days when I'm doing shoulder stuff, and then I'll do the back stuff like on when I do deadlifts. I'll like do some sort of kettlebell swing like workout, because it's all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
makes
And
sense.
you know, on the squat days, I'll do like box step ups and just try and like group it all together.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense to do that.
Yeah.
Just, it depends on if there's any separation between you go straight from one to the other.
No, I separate them out mainly. Yeah, I'll
That's
do. Yeah, now I'm doing a strength session in the day and then like a workout in the evening. Unless it's this week has been deload, so everything's been pretty light, and I've just kept everything light this week. Like even the workout, the WODs and stuff, just kept all that light.
Yeah, you need to do that. Yeah. It should be a deload. Should be a deload, shouldn't it?
But I just
really used to do that historically. Did we? It's like deload. Oh, max test. Okay.
I just can't. I cannot get to feeling like I want to move fast, like ever. Like I'll get in here and I'm like, right, I'm going to do a workout, and I'll be like, oh, yeah, just something long and grindy. Just take it easy. But I did. What was it? I really like because I got the machines, the ergs. I really like I do like a ski row bike on calories, just go like 50, 50, 50, 40, 40, 40, 30, 30, 30, all the way down to 10. And I thought, oh, I know what I'll do. I've got a decent amount of time. I've not done any other training today. I'll start with 100 calories on each. So I did 100, and then I did 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. And man, that was good. That was super sweaty.
You like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I just didn't go particularly fast. I just kept a pace. I like kind of look at the paces on each machine and have an idea about where I don't want to drop below, but then I'm not like gunning it to go super fast. I'll just die. It was like, I don't know, about 40 odd minutes or something like that. It was.
I can't do it. I can't do the pace thing. It's just like, well, I just have to do as fast as I can, and I'll just die after like 10 seconds. So I like to sprint. I like to do like you go, I go sprints or like intervals and stuff like that. But that and it's not so bad when you're counting down. I suppose I don't like that indefinite. Well, counting up, and also like the indefinite one when it's like, okay, 30 minutes,
as many reps as possible.
You can do. It's like, oh, get the fuck out of here, because then I've got to do like a billion
reps.
Like, and then when you start at that pace, then you've got to keep going at that pace, haven't you, for 30 minutes? It's like, because then if you shut down the pace, you're like, well, what are you shutting down the pace for?
It gets harder.
What are you doing?
It's harder and harder.
All right, we'll just keep going then, shall we?
That's the thing. When I was doing those burpees over the rower, it's the first time I've done burpees over the rower here since like lockdown 1 or something. I measure time in lockdowns now.
Yeah.
And I was jumping over this rower, and I was getting up and down off the floor, and I was just getting slower and slower and slower. And I was thinking to myself, I might as well just be stopped. I might as well either just go fast or stop, because if you go fast, it'll be over sooner.
Yeah.
But now I'm going so slow that it's painful and it's taking forever.
Yeah. And I hate myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't want to be me anymore.
And then the Amazon driver pulls up, and I'm like,
sign this, mate.
Yeah.
I haven't done any burpees now.
Leave it on my corpse.
Yeah. Just drop me in the box and take me away again. I haven't done the burpees since Christmas now.
I started building them in.
Spanking.
You were like burping all day.
Yeah, they were good. That was good. Like, conditioning came up really quick. That was cool. And now the running track is open, because over Christmas the running track wasn't open, so I can actually use that running track now, I think, to run. So I'll probably go try and smash my hip to pieces and actually run for a bit. Because I was doing that Juggernaut AI app was really good, but I'm gonna have to start again on it, basically, because this is going to be a minimum of 4 weeks out of that. And that was just coming up to a decent place. That was just not super strong or anything, but like one of those squat workouts was like 6 sets of 10 with 100 or something, and I actually managed it and properly drilled it. I was thinking, okay, this is all right. This is going to be like easy over a 140 or 150 or something like that for a 1 rep max. But I never even got that far. Like the next block I had, so I'd done a bridge block and 2, maybe even 3 hypertrophy blocks. And then it was going to then start going into the strength blocks. And there was going to be 2 or 3 of those, I think, and then a meat peak. But I blew my pelvis up.
Well, it happens, doesn't it? You either
every year, basically.
Like clockwork. You either get to a point with the training where you get an injury, or you get to a point in the training where it's going really well, and then your brain goes, it's going really well, I'll try something else.
Yeah, exactly. This is the classic, isn't it? It's like, oh yeah, this is going well, time for a change. It's time for a switch up here. I'm just going to drop this in here and just mess this program up for myself. But no, that was the point of doing that, because I was like, man, this is going well. Like, I hadn't trained that consistently with strength stuff, and because I was on the 75 hard as well, so I was doing in the morning as much as I could, and some days I didn't do it because I was kind of messing up with the 75 hard as well, and it kind of worked in reverse for me a little bit, because I was doing 75 hard, and because I'm so stubborn that I wouldn't just like, I'm not going to do that. It would be like 2 a.m. or something, and I'd be out walking and doing this 45-minute walk with a weight vest on, and then have to get up at 5 the next day to train to do the juggernaut. So a couple of days I then wouldn't do it in the morning, I'd do it in the evening, and then that meant it went even longer, and I did that for like 2.5 months or whatever it was, until 2 days out from the end, and then missed it. But it was going really well. It was like 5 days a week, and it has a good deload in it, like a proper deload, because you get that, you know, the juggernaut volume is pretty heavy, isn't it, in some stages of it, and then like the last week before the deload, the volume is like this, like 610s and stuff like this on squat, and going into the deload was ruined, man. But afterwards I was like, yeah, this is actually worked. Like you then get to the next squat session with that weight, and you're like, well, hang on a minute, this is like crazy stuff. This is really working, really good.
Yeah, I liked the one that I did. I think it was the hypertrophy one, or the 2.0. I can't remember which one.
I think it was the championship program or something it was called.
Yeah, but that was some savage volume in that, like literally, you know, soul destroying volumes of front squats and lunges and things.
Yeah, that's what this was like. This had on the front squat, because you can change the like the movement options, and it's got a recommended list. So depending on what you put your weak points in there, you can then pick from a recommended list of assistant stuff. But they're all disgusting. It's like front squat, goblet squat, lateral lunge, front lunge, reverse lunge. So there's like no easy way out. Do you know what I mean? And then when you put it in, it's like for all of that stuff, it was like 4 sets of 10 or 5 sets of 10. God, it's just, that's horrible. That's like soul destroying. And the lateral lunges and stuff like that, I'm like, it was like 4 times 15 to 20. Like 4 times 15 to 20. And then on a lunge, that's like 20 per leg. That's a rotter. But it worked. But of course it works. You know what I mean? Because when you think back to like when training's going really well, and basically you're just hammering it all the time, aren't you? With lots of volume and being consistent.
Yeah.
And I think over time you sort of, you get, for a little while there was this like, it was popular to, any more than an hour or 45 minutes of training is like too much. And I think the reality of that is just nonsense. Like, the more you can do and recover from, the better, basically. Just
I think a lot of people have a lot of opinions about training, like the length of time your training takes. There's a lot.
I think for me, it's just an hour is convenient, isn't it? You can do enough work in an hour, and if you go hard for an hour, you can do some useful work in that time. But when I was training at uni and stuff like that, we were in there 2 hours, just like going for it, like 2 hours plus 2.5 hours, whatever. And then you really make some progress on you when your diet is on everything, because it's all that as well, isn't it? When your diet is on and your sleep is on, and you can guarantee these guys who are doing top level Olympic lifting or top level CrossFit or whatever, they're not going in doing an hour and going home, are they? You know what I mean? It's like, no.
Texting between sets.
Yes. I'm just checking my Instagram.
I saw some guy, I was on a Facebook group the other day about garage gyms, and some guy posted up there about, see all these people with TVs in their garage, and what is this? Are you training or what? And then like everybody just kicked off at him. It's like everybody just like, you're not like sitting in there watching fucking Neighbours. It's like, I've got music on, you know, like there's TVs in gyms around the world. It's like, what are you on about? It's like, it's just so, had this like opinion that you had to like go in there and like no distractions and just try. And it's like, but if it makes your gym time better, like, why not? Like, why not? I listen to the podcasts and I'll put music on. And if I need, like, I'll switch from a podcast to like a hype song on YouTube for a big set. Cause I'm like, man, I need something to get this going. And I can't just like sit there in silence, just wait for the next set to come along and just go for it.
I do. I think some people like to have that or give the impression that they have like a hardcore attitude, so
Spartan
they don't
mentality,
need it.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like they can go in and just hammer it. But I like to not do the hype thing so much, because I do my own
Overhyped.
head in about it. That's the problem. Yeah, because you know what I mean? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, then I've really gonna have it, and I can't be trusted to be overhyped. So I don't put anything on purpose. But I'll put a podcast on, like a Jocko podcast or a Frisella podcast or something like that, and put that on, or a bit of music. I don't need it though. I think some people need it
Yeah.
to train. Don't they? Some people like need to have some music on, otherwise they can't do it. But
Yeah.
it's just like I know what I need to do, so I'll go down there and do it. And if I put something on, I put something on. If I don't, I don't. I don't like need any extra motivation.
I don't need it. I don't need it. I can quit anytime I like. Just don't want to. So it's not a problem. I can give it up. I'll take
I
this
need
shit
to
right down
train.
right now.
I need to train, but I don't need the music. That's the
Yeah.
problem. I need to train today. Need to do a little bit of work outside. Now I can just about move on my own 2 feet. Pretty good.
That's cool,
I'm
man.
gonna go and see if I can hang. See if I can hang and do some dips, and then I'll write myself a little program now. Probably, I think.
Have
I
you got
haven't really done
like the
anything.
little? Have you got that little guy from Saw on a tricycle, like going past your house? There's something like
Yeah.
like
No,
some sort of seesaw kid. Ask if you want to play a game.
He's waiting for me. Yeah. Because I didn't really do anything this week. I just walked this week. So I thought I'll give it. I'm not very good at, like, when I'm injured, to just leave it alone for a bit to recover. So I was like straight away out doing the dips and doing this and doing that. And I felt okay, but a couple of times I was like, yeah, that's a bit nippy. And then when I was hanging and trying to see if I could pull up,
Yeah.
I didn't feel good at all. I felt rough. So this week I've just been walking a lot, just been on the crutches a lot. Last week I did like 5 kilometers on Saturday on the crutches. And then this week I've done, probably 45 minutes or an hour each day or something like that. And then I'll start. Now it feels better though. Now I can feel that, like, it feels like there's been a big step forward.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't hurt when I sit down or stand up. I can get in and out of bed and all that stuff. So that's good. So I think if I go and try now, do some dips, it'll be a lot more comfortable, at least, to do that. Because before I could do it and it felt okay, but I was like super conscious of where I was and how I was pressing and stuff like that. So it was nice to find that I could do the stuff, but I was having to be super careful. So go and try again.
Don't smash yourself. Don't fall off the icy dip bar or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's nice weather today. It started snowing now. It's like we're done.
It's going to be snowing here. It's going to be snowing here tomorrow, apparently. It's gone from start of the week, it was 22 degrees. Monday and Tuesday, it's 21, 22 degrees. Wednesday, it backed off to like 12. Thursday, same. And then it's just got then it was just miserable weather last 2 days. And then it's going to be tonight, it's going to be snowing.
It's crazy.
Proper sunshine outside today.
Yeah, it's sunny now. It's sunny here now, but it's probably, I don't know, 15 or 18 or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's 14.
But it like hammered it with snow a week ago. I think basically the week after I did this. In fact, when I was in the hospital, it was snowing, and then the week after, it just hammered it for that week. And then so that would have been the start of this week just gone. Then it just calmed down and was a bit grey. Now it's super sunny. I can see the mountain from here, still covered in snow, but everything else is like spring. Like all the flowers and stuff are out in the trees behind here. It's looking pretty sweet. So hopefully it's pretty warm. Go outside.
That's going to be your first summer there, isn't it? I can't remember when you moved there. So you're going to be your first summer there?
Yeah, only October. It was like I've officially moved here at the end of September and started October 5th. But I came over in the middle of September, and it was still like the tail end of summer then.
Yeah.
So we went to some lakes and stuff like that. So yeah, it'll be the start of the first summer. I've got to do spring first and then summer. Well, everything's on lockdown anyway. So yeah, I'll do spring and then summer. Like, if you do it back to front,
it will start
getting grumpy. Go into autumn, and then you've got like this super long autumn. Yeah, those are so everything's on lockdown still anyway. So you have to kind of wait for that to chill out, because lots of the stuff that they do here outside is all like public lakes and
Yeah.
concerts, and like there's wakeboarding down the road, and you can ski and mountain bike park and stuff like that. But all those things, they run lifts, and they're still running them at the moment for skiing, for example, but they haven't. They've got like a limit on the people that they'll take in the lifts. And then for the mountain bike park, hopefully they'll open. But because the volume of people and business is lower anyway in the bike park, if they're still on lockdown and they can't run as many people in the lifts, I don't know if they'll do it. But actually in the bike park, you can only put 2 people in a lift anyway, because you can only fit 2 bikes on the lift. So maybe it's not such a big problem. Depends if they let tourists come in as well, like people travel from Germany and stuff like that. That's the thing.
It's probably more like the crowds of when they're not actually on like doing the biking and doing the skiing, isn't it?
Yeah,
because when you're actually doing it.
Yeah, it's not when you're actually going down. It's basically like when you're on the lift on the way up, and then when you're on the queue waiting for the lift, because then you've got like the groups of people together. And the restaurants and stuff. It's more like the restaurants that serve the places, and then afterwards, if there's any like après ski or when you're bike stuff, then you get people together and having a few drinks and stuff like that, and then it starts to get a bit of a mess.
Yeah. Well, from the 12th of April here, we should be able to cough in each other's mouths in B&M and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Take a little virus load in the mush. What, but with a mask on or no?
No, you take them. I think I don't know what they're going to do in masks, but from the 12th of April is the next step to opening up stuff. Yeah.
I can't even keep track anymore though.
But people don't, I'm like, even Harrison said to me, I was in a shop, we were just gone to get some bits and pieces from a shop, and it's like people are touching me. I was like, yeah, they said people don't care, they don't give a fuck.
Were they actually touching him?
Well, they're like people aren't trying to avoid you, they're not trying to like go around, they're just like walking on, just doing whatever. It's like, yeah, they don't care now. Done with it.
Well, yeah, but I think people are done with it, aren't they? That's the problem. I think it's like it's dragged on so long and been managed not horribly, but quite badly, hasn't it? In the way things have been explained to people and this sort of thing. So I think people are just tired, aren't they, with this? But you need to hang on a little bit more. The problem is like the source of information and which information do you believe, all that stuff. But you can do your bit, can't you?
Yeah.
If you stay away, keep a little bit of distance from people, don't cough in anyone's face, then wash your hands.
Did I tell you?
Need to do any more than that, do you really?
In the summertime or something, like we're like in lockdown 2 or whatever it was, and he said to me, I wish that Chinese man hadn't messed with those animals. And I was like, yes, me too, man.
Me too. I wish he just had a McDonald's.
Yeah,
that's not cool.
Cool. All right, mate. Well, I think we're all gonna wrap things up, do some more family shenanigans, see how much chocolate there is. Try and stop them from eating all the chocolate in one go. There's gonna be some grumpy people around here later.
It's only fair. After the sugar crash.
Yeah.
Are you going to be gone because there's no chocolate, or because you ate too much chocolate?
Both.
That's controversial. I have no chocolate. Got nothing. I've got a yogurt. I'll eat a yogurt, like my Easter yogurt. A protein shake. That's it.
That's some chocolate protein shake. Put the protein shake in the yogurt, mix it up, stick it in the freezer.
It's a fruit yogurt.
Oh, fuck that shit.
Do you realise how red my face is?
That's what I said at the start.
Berry.
You got some blood pressure issues.
You have to check if my face is actually red in the mirror or something.
Yeah. Where's that hat? It's heating you up.
Very good.
My dude.
All right, dude.
Have a good one. Yeah. Awesome. See ya, boy.
Bye.